Hi, it's Darline Turner-Lee, Bedrest Coach, owner and founder of Mamas on Bedrest and Beyond. And today we are just kind of reviewing getting comfortable while on bed rest. And I know we've done this before, we talk about it incessantly, and we'll probably talk about it again. But I feel it's really important for you mamas to understand how important your comfort is. In our last couple of blog posts, I really tried to drive home the point. And the first one was mamas, get your babies off to a healthy start. And I thought, well, mamas will see that and they'll think, okay, I'm doing this for my baby. It'll be a good thing because, face it, we will do anything for our kids. The minute we find out that we're pregnant, all of a sudden our whole energy just kind of shifts to, what do I need to do to grow this little human being? What do I need to do to give it the absolute best start? And I think, sadly, what we forget is giving them the absolute best starts when we give ourselves the absolute best. Um, in the last written blog post, I talked a lot about some work done by some researchers in the area of epigenetics, and I just find the topic fascinating because what they're saying is how the environment and the environmental cues come into our bodies will create different little chemicals and additions and whatnot on our genes and affect how those genes are expressed. Now, some people are thinking, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, as a mama, what's going on in your environment, which is coming in through you, in through your bloodstream, going into the amniotic fluid, going into your baby, is affecting how that baby is not only developing, but what genes are being expressed. So if they have genes for, asthma, and you're not managing your asthma, perhaps that could be in effect um, causing those particular genes to express. Now, again, I've said it in other blog posts, I don't want you to think, oh, if my baby doesn't come out absolutely perfectly, it's my fault. That's not the point of this. The point of this is for you to realize you must take absolute exquisite care of yourself, your needs, your hunger, your rest, your stress management, everything is just as important, if not more so, to the development of your baby as you taking your prenatal vitamins and other things. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, well, I'm on bed rest. I've already messed up. And let's stop that right now. Bed rest, for the most part, is not your fault. Unless you're out doing drugs or something like that, or I can think of a bunch of different scenarios, but we're not even going to go there. 9 times out of 10, bed rest is not your fault. What I want you to think of bed rest as is sort of a warning, a sort of a little, your body saying, hey, I need a little extra help here. And what I mean by that is, think about it. Your body, from the time you become pregnant, from the time the sperm meets the eggs, is going through just a whole complex series of events and cellular divisions and chemical reactions and things gestating this baby. I mean, look and think about it. When your baby is born, they come out, like we said, 10 perfect fingers, 10 perfect toes, fingernails, eyelashes, eyebrows, hair color, iris color, just every little thing, every little reaction, what are those things on your tongue? Taste buds, just everything, absolutely exquisitely perfect. And the whole time they're developing in your body, using your energy, using your nutrients. So doesn't that warrant that you get the absolute best to be able to do that? And what I want to say about bed rest is, someone say, well, I got preeclampsia, or I have an incompetent cervix, or I have, gestational diabetes, and it's all my fault, blah, 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 blah. My body's wrong. Again, stop right now. That's not true. What's really going on is your body saying, I'm working really, really hard here, and I need some help. You know, there's no shame in it. You're not weak. You're not a whiner. You're not broken. You're not somehow defective. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for anyone. And some people may say, well, my grandmother had 15 children, or my grandmother, pioneer women did blah, 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 blah. We can look throughout history and see these pioneer women, a lot of them lost, 4, 5, 6 children, before they were even born, early on in their pregnancies, to the childhood illnesses and things. So, I mean, let's not make the comparison. What we want to understand is this is a complex process. It takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of nutrients, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy, and we want to give your body the best possible support and nourishment and nutrients and water and rest and stress reduction and everything else to just help you do that. And if you need a little extra, don't feel bad. Hey, you need a little extra. So be it. So anyway, we were talking about epigenetics and how environmental cues are actually affecting gene expression in our children and what have you. We've talked about it from the standpoint of nutrition. We talked about it from the standpoint of stress. Excuse me. I want to talk to you now about it from the standpoint of comfort. You know, bed rest is not easy. We've talked about it. It's pretty uncomfortable, quite frankly. And the bottom line is if you're going to spend any sort of considerable amount of time on bed rest, you need to be comfortable. Now, I'm not saying run out and buy a whole new mattress and buy a whole bunch of more pillows, but you're probably going to need to support your body in a lot of different ways. A, because of the pregnancy, it's putting so many different stresses and strains on various parts of your body, even if you weren't on bed rest. And B, because if you're going to stay in bed, you need to give support to certain areas of your body that take on a lot of pressure. So let's talk about that for just a second. First and foremost, pregnancy puts a lot of stress on certain joints, namely like the hips, the back, even the neck. A lot of people don't consider that, but your neck tends to sublux forward a little bit. We call it kind of stork neck, but just from the weight of the pregnancy, everything going forward, the weight of your breasts, the weight of the belly, everything's kind of being pulled forward. So you want to support your neck, you want to support your back, you want to support your hips. Adding to that, we have the whole relaxin issue, which is softening everything up, getting ready for labor and delivery. So not only are things getting pulled, the soft tissue is softer in that it's a little more elastic, but can go a little bit beyond where it was meant to go. So you can feel achy, you're more apt to strain things, you're more apt to pull things, tendons, ligaments, going a little bit beyond what their norm is. So you have to be careful. Now, when we're talking about bed rest, you need to support certain areas of your body. We've talked about the neck. I'm also saying the shoulders and the hips and the knees. These are areas that can become pressure points. And I want you to think about it for any of you who have had elderly relatives, grandparents, older aunts and uncles who have been in nursing homes or rest homes where they're in bed. And we're always concerned about them getting what we call decubitus ulcers. And those are pressure sores, common term pressure sores, because they're laying oftentimes for hours at a time in one position. That's why it's so important that in nursing home and nursing care facilities that elderly people are moved and shifted and rotated. And bad comparison or what have you, it's the same type of thing with mamas on bed rest. The good news is you're younger. The elasticity and collagen of your skin has much better integrity, so you're less likely to develop a pressure sore or skin breakdown, but it can happen. And I'm saying, we can do a few simple things here in bed to keep that at bay. So rather than me sit here and yickety yak on anymore, let's talk about it. So I've set up my bed here in my office. We've got several regular standard bed pillows. I didn't go out and buy a whole lot of extra pillows. I don't feel that it's necessary. I don't feel that, unless you just want a whole bunch of pillows, you can do really well with just some regular standard bed pillows. First things first, pull them down just a little bit, taking a couple of standard bed pillows here so that your neck and shoulders are well supported. Now, when you lay, you want to have your neck and shoulders in one plane. So if I were to look at you from the side, your head would be here, your neck would be here, and your shoulders, everything would come right down. And that's what you want to do. Now, sometimes that requires that you stagger your pillows. And I don't know if you can see them here, but you stagger them so that there's one on top of the other, maybe one a little bit further back, one up closer. But you'll see that my head and neck really kind of come straight down, and actually maybe see if I can curve here so you can see a little bit better. But things are still kind of in one plane, and it's very comfortable actually. But you have the support of your head and neck. Now, most women who are on bed rest are advised not to lie flat. We say this because we don't want pressure on the right inferior vena cava, which is the large blood vessel bringing blood back from the lower part of your body up to your heart. So with that, I say get yourself kind of a body pillow, or you can even use just a regular pillow, and prop yourself up slightly. So I'm using my body pillow, and just, even though I'm sort of flat, this pillow's right up under me, just tilting me ever so slightly so that I'm not flat and that the blood flows freely from the lower half of the right side of my body up and back into my heart. Now, with that, you can then end up with some pressure on the left shoulder, because that, you're then tilting your body onto your left shoulder. So again, you have to work the pillows so that you're supporting your neck, but also giving your shoulder some support so that you're not on, I call it like kind of the point of your shoulder, because again, and you see this in elderly people, if you put too much pressure for a prolonged amount of time, you can get skin breakdown and an ulcer. Now again, not real common in mamas on bed rest. You're younger, your skin's got more integrity, more elasticity, more collagen, but you can get sore there. You can have pains and aches in your shoulders, and that's very real. Other thing is the hips. Now, because we're women, we have the curve of the hip, which actually comes down a little bit, and that becomes a little bit more pronounced when we're pregnant because hips spread a little bit to support the pregnancy. When you lay on your side, then your hips kind of collapse down because going down to the knees, it's at an angle. What you want to do, and you can get either they remind me of peanuts, the peanut type pillows, or you can just take a standard pillow and put it between your knees so that your hips are raised up. Now this, for me, is actually too much because my hip now is then raised up. So you'd have to work with it a little bit and get it in a position that is comfortable. And actually for me, pretty much a single layer with this pillow is fine. Resting down so that my hip is in line with my knee, and which is in line with my spine. Now I'm a little twisted here because I'm speaking to you, but my spine, my hips, and my knees are all in one plane. Now, a lot of people would think, oh God, it just seems like so much. It seems like such a hassle. And true, you can get those little, they're the long cylindrical pillows. You can put that on your knee because if you have, say, for example, an incompetent cervix, you may not be required to lay on your left side. You may be able to lay a little bit more inclined, but then that puts pressure on your lower spine and you end up kind of arched a little bit. Part of that is because of the pregnancy, the stomach being pulled forward by the weight of the uterus, and part is just the normal curve of the lower back. So although I don't have a little round bolster, you can take a pillow and you tuck it right up under your knees. And again, that'll give you just a little bit of a tilt back in the pelvis. Then your knees are elevated. You can also put something under your ankles if you need it so that your ankles are supported. But in any event, we're giving a lot of support to the back, taking pressure off those points because a lot of times being on bed rest and being pregnant, you have a lot of pressure and achiness in the hips and the shoulders and the lower back. By supporting these areas or supporting certain areas while you're laying down, you can relieve pressure and relieve a lot of the aches and discomfort. Now it seems like, oh gosh, I'm flipping and flopping around. Of course I am. I'm not pregnant, so it's a lot easier for me. But it's really simple. Just a few pillows. I mean, I have a body pillow here, and it's great. It's just a long rectangular pillow. But again, if you don't have that, I have two standard pillows there, one standard pillow here. I mean, I was in Sam's Club this week, in Walmart, Target, any of these types of stores. You can get like two pillows for about $10. Yeah, money's tight, but rather than going to, say, an orthopedic back store and buying, all these different cylinders where you may not use them after you're pregnant. If you get some standard pillows, you have company come over, you have some extra pillows, but for now you can use them to keep you comfortable, to relax your back, to ease your hip aches and discomfort, to support your knees. And these are all things that are really important because, again, talking about epigenetics, if you're in pain, your body is releasing chemicals saying, I'm in pain, I'm in pain, I'm in pain, trying to get you to get out of pain. As you keep releasing these chemicals, some of them are going into your baby. And, I have to say, I don't know the exact expression that it will. Will the child then become pain sensitive? Will they have a higher tolerance for pain? I'm not sure. But it's not good for that child to be experiencing the same types of pain. And it's really an easy fix. A few pillows, roll over on your side. Maybe your spouse or partner comes home, rubs your back, rubs your feet. Very simple fixes. A lot of people get doulas, and a lot of doulas are wonderful, absolutely awesome massage therapists. Have it done. It's not a luxury. It's not a waste of money. It's not, oh, I'm just, weak. No, this is real stuff. You need to take care of yourself. The better you feel, the more comfortable you are, the better it's going to be for your baby. Again, just a few simple pillows. Prop yourself up. And remember, prop below the knees if you're going to lay flat. It'll help rotate the pelvis back. Press the lower back onto the mattress, keeping the lower back more comfortable, stabilizing the hips. If you're laying on your side, take a pillow, put it between your knees. Get the hips and the knee all in one plane, also with the spine. This is what your body will look like this. Get your spine, hips, knee, all in one plane, taking that pressure off the hip, taking that pressure off the low back. If you're laying back, support your head, support your neck. Have them in one plane so you're kind of in, get it in the vision, get it on the screen here, in one position. So it's head, neck, shoulders, back, all in one plane. Remembering, if you need to be off the right inferior vena cava, using pillows to support that side of your body, roll yourself up just a little bit so that you have free blood flow going up the right side of the body. And finally, if you are instructed to lay on the left side almost exclusively, support your left shoulder, your left hip, because they are going to be taking a lot of the pressure of your body. You want to have the pillows that are supporting your head and neck situated such that your neck isn't doing this and your neck isn't doing this. It's in neutral position, and that your shoulder is not having to bear a lot of the weight of your body as well as your hip. So pillows, pillows, pillows. Comfort is of the essence. I know I've harped on this. This is probably at least the second video I've done on this, but I just felt it was so important to reiterate: comfort, comfort, comfort. Your comfort is your baby's comfort. That it was worth doing again. If you are needing more information, shoot me an email, info@mamasonbedrest.com. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing with this, follow us with an RSS feed. You can also follow us on Facebook at Mamas on Bedrest and Beyond, and on Twitter, I'm at Mamas on Bedrest. So that's it for today. I'm Darline Turner-Lee, Bedrest Coach, owner and founder of Mamas on Bedrest. And remember, mamas, keep comfortable. Your comfort is your baby's comfort. Have a great day.